Has the Austin real estate market really imploded? If you watch the news, you'd sure think so.
We could see 8% mortgage rates.
New U.S. listings falling 25% from a year ago.
It's a hot mess.
Or just jump on social media and you would definitely think that's the case. It seems that every week there's a doom and gloom story in the news or on social media about the real estate market. So the big question is, how rooted in reality is that? And why is that the narrative is an even bigger question to ask. Today we're going to look at and decipher for ourselves if the Austin real estate market has really imploded. We're going to answer the question first by looking at the current market numbers. Then we'll talk about why those numbers are what they are. And finally, we'll talk about what those numbers mean to you. And we'll do all that right after this. Welcome to Living in Austin. My name is Jeff Miller. I'm a residential real estate specialist here in the greater Austin area. I focus on residential buying and selling in Austin and all the great communities that surround Austin. The most challenging part of real estate is just taking the emotion out of it and focusing on the numbers. And that's understandable because buying or selling a home is arguably one of the most emotionally stressful things you will ever do. It's clearly the biggest financial investment you'll ever make, and getting it wrong can have some serious long-term implications. I spend a lot of time looking at the numbers, analyzing the trends, looking at the statistics, and trying to pragmatically understand the market. And even without my crystal ball, trying to figure out where the market's going. Easier said than done, but I spend time every day looking at the numbers. Do me a favor, before we get these numbers, click on that subscribe button down below, ring that bell. That way you'll get regular updates on everything living in Austin, from real estate to daily living. Alright, so let's look at the numbers in the Austin real estate market. Let's compare August of 23 of this year to August of 22, which was last year. The median home price in August of 2023, $460,000. That is a 7.6% drop compared to August of last year. Active listings are up 12.2%. Closed sales are up 1.4%. And months of inventory, that's available inventory in the market, is up from 2.8 months of inventory in August of 22 up to 3.8 months of inventory in August of 23. So when we look at those numbers, what do they mean? Well, a 7.6% drop in price, hey, that's actually understandable when you look at what is going on in the world. And I mean inflation and interest rates. Those two things are affecting a lot of buyers and put a lot of buyers on the sideline. And of course, when you look at active listings being up over 12%, that also ties into the buyers' hesitations, creating more active listings sitting on the market. Now you might think, hey, more closed sales up 1.4%, that's good. Well, it's not necessarily good. It's good, but if you put that in relationship to the fact that there's so many more active listings, it's still not necessarily a win. And 3.8 months of inventory compared to 2.8 months, so an extra month of inventory. While that's all reflective of the market, more buyers on the sideline, more active listings, it's still not a lot of inventory. And I will tell you that if the rates dropped even down to the fives, that 3.8 months would disappear instantly. Now the question is, what does this mean to you? Y'all might not realize this, but there are investors and companies who invest in properties who buy investment properties all over the country. And 5 years ago, you could get a brand new house in the Austin area for well under $200,000. Now those investors have moved on, and they would say that Austin's not a good investment, but that's not the general population. If you recently moved here or are moving here for one of those great jobs that's popping up in the greater Austin area, from Samsung to Tesla to Dell to Apple to all the other companies and businesses that are moving here, with this growing economy and this great culture and this overall cost of living, then that might not be the story for you. When you compare this metro, the Austin metro, to all the other metros of similar size for things like cost of living and home prices, Austin wins hands down. Second part of that question is, if you are someone in the general population who's just moved here or is going to be moving here, is Austin done growing? Well, the answer is clearly no. They're in the middle of building the Samsung factory right now. Tesla wants to expand. Samsung wants to expand. All these other companies are moving here. It's still a hot place to move. And what does that mean? That means if you're here now or you're moving here and you buy a house, what are the odds of that home price increasing in the next 5 years? The reality is, Central Texas, the greater Austin area, there's a lot of dirt. Good, bad, or indifferent, there's still a lot of room to expand. And like it or not, it's going to expand here. People are going to continue to move here. It's going to continue to grow, which of course means it will continue to get more expensive. So buying a house now, you still win down the road. So when you look at the big picture for housing prices in the greater Austin area, those housing prices have dropped 10 to 15% since this inflation thing has started. Well, it's a pretty easy math comparison if you compare that 10 to 15% drop in housing prices with the increase in interest rates. So the answer is buy the house now at that 10 to 15% savings. Refinance the house when the rates are in your favor. Because you know what's going to happen when the rates are in your favor? Home prices are going to go up, which means you will be adding equity to your house and having a lower monthly payment. You will win. Reach out to me if I can help you with real estate, either buying or selling. Or if you even have any just questions in general about living in Austin. Would love to answer those for you. Y'all take care.